like a shark's fin. Deepest blue is my hat is like a shark's fin. Deepest blue is my hat is like a shark's fin. Yeah, blue is my hat is like a shark's fin.
Deepest, bluest. My hat is like a shark's fin.
I assume that this song was written for the movie and he didn't just happen to have a song in his back pocket. They're like, have I got the song for you?
To be fair, he might have been up for another Nickelodeon series, Shark Bites.
Oh man.
He plays a chef by the ocean.
Let me tell you something though. LL Cool J, pretty decent actor. Like,
what is it about LL where he just gets halfway at scot-free? He's just got a pass. Ice Cube, are we there yet? No, you're not getting it. Here you go.
Well, Ice Cube had Friday at least. He's got a good franchise of like black comedies to fall back on, whereas LL just went right into the box office.
He went
right back out of the box office soon after.
You sitting with your rollerball t-shirt.
What's he doing now? He's one of the CSIs, isn't he?
Oh mate, he's been on that for you that size.
So he's doing that.
That thing is on its like 14th season.
14th? I thought it was like 50 seasons.
It's ridiculous.
Oh well, it's a different. They do different. Like there's like Florida in it, and then New York and all that shit.
I mean, that's what happens when you pair LL Cool J with Chris O'Donnell, baby. Pure magic.
That's right.
What happened there?
He was hot for a minute.
Boy's doing alright for himself.
He was in the excellent Vertical Limit.
He was an alright Robin.
He was in bad movies, but he was fine.
See when he does his washing karate style.
How cool was that? He does it with his feet.
Oh, and Alfred's like, he thinks he's impressing him, but Alfred's like, that's just getting the flare wet. I need to mop that wee man.
So, like, remember he gets like a t-shirt that's wringing wet and he wrings it with his feet, his man toes, and Alfred looks at him like, you bogging me bastard.
He looks at him like, that's my t-shirt. That's minging, mate.
Alfred doesn't wear t-shirts.
He wears
He wears a tux the whole time.
No, he wears a wee string vest, you know, the ones like Rab C with the holes in it for ventilation.
That's right.
For nip ventilation.
So, is it Batman Forever where Alicia Silverstone somehow his granddaughter?
It's the best. His passport to get into the back cave is in England.
Fuck off. Flag shagging bastard.
It is the best meme when she shows up and she goes, Bruce, it's me, Barbara. And she smiles.
Oh man, anyway.
Those Schumacher movies are great.
I would rather watch Batman and Robin versus, Batman versus Superman. Anyway, man, let's get into it.
Are we doing this?
I suppose, man.
Get your scuba suits on, we're going diving.
We're getting right down.
Deep Blue Sea 1999. Director Rennie Harlin. Rennie Harlin, my man Harlin.
Here, by the way, this is some cast he's got as well. This is like a big budget.
Yeah.
At the time, this was like the hottest movie. I remember this, like posters everywhere.
The promotion was everywhere for this. I remember the shop being covered in this. What do you think of Rennie Harlin?
Handsome guy. At least this picture of him's got a good angle.
Yeah, big, I want to say finish on the
big
legs.
But he looks Swedish just because he's blonde. He's not racist.
But he's a big handsome man.
Oh man, he produced Cliffhanger.
He directed Cliffhanger, man.
That's right, man. He's also done some Shanners, man.
That's Rennie Harlin.
His IMDb leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah.
The Legend of Hercules.
You're about to give him a pass. He was once married to Gina Davis.
Oh, was he?
Aye. Rennie's done alright. Don't worry about Rennie. Long Kiss Goodnight. Long Kiss Goodnight.
That's a fantastic film.
It's a great movie.
That's a great film. Gina Davis, is that how he met her?
Gina Davis.
And Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel Jackson.
Right. That is a fantastic film. I'll give you that.
It's incredible. Davis is so good in that. Deep Blue Sea. We get this watery roadshow underwater logo.
Oh, I like it, the Warner Brothers logo. It goes all blue.
Did you see it? I was like, oh my god, I've not even got my snorkel.
I was getting excited, man.
We get this underwater boat shot, and I'm already like, hold on, you can't do that.
It's been done.
It's been done.
But you try to put it, by the way, this is just Jaws, this opening scene in it.
We're no mentioning that film, no, are we? We
can't talk about Jaws. That's just, it feels like the most reductive thing.
You can't make a shark film without somebody starting on that.
Of course.
They just need to keep making them because they're great.
Aye. And this film, I'm just going to say it right off the bat, has some great moments in it.
Yeah.
This is one of them, man. Did you see this lassie bikini?
Are we just saying this for the... Are we saying... Sorry, you
that was two great moments right here.
Are you talking about this teenager?
She was about 19.
We get these teens on a boat having a sex party.
This doesn't happen. Maybe it's because we're landlocked, right? But like, see the idea of getting steaming, listening to some music on your cassette player and going out on a boat in the middle of the water to shag? No, thank you. Not a chance. Oh, first of all, right, let's get into this before we talk about the movie. Your opinion on sharks and the water?
Are we being real?
I'm being real.
The scariest thing in the world to
they
me.
Can fuck off.
That is the scariest environment in the world, and we shouldn't be getting in there.
We have no need to be in there. Half of the world is ours on the land, and that's fine. If we get killed on land, I can accept that. You don't go in the water, it's not for us.
Let them go on with it.
There's hundreds of land, there's sharks and whales and all sorts of shit, and that's where they belong. And we stay in the land, and if we decide to get in the water, we can't even start greeting when a shark bites our dick off.
You know there's monsters in there as well.
Monsters in there.
Obviously know there is.
They're too deep down for us to see them, and I'm not intending to fucking find it.
There's definitely
leave
creatures.
them alone.
Just stay out. And
stay away.
Sharks are like monsters. They're the scariest things in the worord.
No, I've got absolutely no intention. Also got no sympathy for people that like die in shark attack.
I feel bad for their families and that, but
but like, see if you're like, oh, let's go shark diving, and then you get killed, it's like, oh, you should have went shark diving then, fucking dick.
Agreed. Or in a submarine to go see some wreckage 3 years ago. We get this couple making out and Ryan's enjoying it. He said, we get this other creep coming up and he's like, we're having a party, man. Did you get this line?
Aye, weird.
Wine spills and we're supposed to think, oh no, this an alky shark's coming. He's going to smell it and go, a wine, and he's going to swim up for your mere
want a drink?
I want your booze. This shark rattles this boat and I'm already thinking, oh, I'm a bit scared.
Man, this CD player falls into the water as well, and it's playing some soft 90s R&B.
This teddy bear falls into the water and they don't even care. I would be like, is anybody going to get Teddy?
If you've been attacked by a shark, you're like, oh, my Teddy.
We get a good shark pop up.
Man, pretty scary.
This is a good shark.
The shark, I will say this.
The new. It's a good shark, the new.
No, I will say this. All the sort of, in quotes, practical sharks in this movie look good. The CGI sharks, not so much.
The CGI isn't great.
We will get there because there is some scenes in this movie that are like, woofed.
However, no the worst.
No, not the worst. There's much worse culprits of this. I think at the time it probably didn't look too bad. It's just not aged particularly well.
I think sharks would hate the taste of boats. Pure splintery.
Metal, rust. Maybe boats have got like wee fishes stuck to them though. What do you call those wee things that you need to scrape off?
Barnacles.
Barnacles, do sharks eat them?
No, they're not wasting their time with barnacles.
They just eat people, don't they? They just want to eat rain.
Pure scraping them off.
They're like the XX bullies of the sea.
Oh, you know they're dicks, man. You see if you know a shark. And you're like a wee salmon, man, you know he's acting like a right dick, man.
He's the Ned that walks up. He's got the swagger and all that. Coming through.
That's my seal. And you're like, actually, that's my pal, Davey. Can you know him? Do we get a hunk intervention here?
Man, talk about a cool guy intro. Big Thomas Jane with his harpoon. Shoots this fucking shark and he stones with a light. Looking fantastic.
Thomas Jane, man.
They really try to play him off in this movie as a movie star.
He was
pure, isn't he?
He was for a period though, in a way.
Is he?
Thomas
Kinda.
kinda.
Jane's who they probably phoned when Stallone said no. Do you know what I mean?
He was an alright Punisher. He just had the wrong director, editor, cinematographer.
I know, although a Bond Punisher was a weird way to go as well.
He was okay. I liked the short film he did, Dirty Laundry. He was good in that, and Travolta was a rough villain. A really rough villain.
They had nothing going for it. It wasn't his fault. They had nothing going for it. It should have went the other way. Travolta should have been Punisher, maybe.
That would... what would that piece look like? He would just look like Vince Vega with
Exactly.
muscles. That would actually look
And what's
pretty
that
good.
movie? The one where he's bald. I know he's bald now. But
Phenomenon.
no,
Michael.
the one where he's playing poker and that is quite good. Fuck, what's it called? Paris something.
Paris with Love. He's,
From Paris with Love. That's
when,
a
he,
good film.
when he goes full bald.
Aye.
Are you a big Jonathan Rhys Meyers fan?
Just saying. The Travolta when he can be a hard
You're the
man.
only one that saw that.
I know.
They made it for you.
And even I didn't like it that much.
Do you like Thomas Jane?
I do like Thomas Jane, kinda. I'm not his biggest fan. Like,
He's had a couple of solid roles. Boogie Nights is amazing.
yeah,
I liked Hung, the TV show.
didn't see it.
He was a male escort. That was really interesting. Yeah, it's just, he's a good casting here. Mist, he's really good in.
Oh, Mist is a great film.
Maybe his best.
Yeah, Mist is fantastic. He's great in it.
And some of his early work's really good.
Again,
So-
it's nothing to do with him as an actor. I just feel like this role needed like a big star, like a big name. Do you know what I mean? This needed your Stallone or your Schwarzenegger. Do you know what I mean? Oh, fucking sharks!
Why are you playing God with these sharks?
You know what I mean? Though, you know what I mean. He would put no, but you know, someone would demand a scene where he punches the shark or
You
something.
know he would want to
Wrestle
one.
the shark. Right, we need to pick up with the tail and swing it about and all that. You know, aye, too high maintenance, big stone. I'm saying it as if he was even in consideration. It was totally
It
maintenance.
wasn't, mate. It was Thomas Jane or David Spade. I watched this with my wife, and she asks, why was he sitting watching these teenagers?
That's right. Because, like, he's getting the lights off in the boat as well, so he's sitting in the dark, fucking ripping the head right off it.
Just chewing
And then
him.
he's like, oh, fuck, a shark's ruining my wank. Terrible man and
You know he sat as well for too long. He was going to go, oh, fuck, man.
He sees the fin in the water and he's like, I'll leave it, man.
maybe he'll go away.
Maybe it'll just jump up, get that wee teddy bear and fuck off.
Unless it's one of the alky sharks. Is it? Or not, he's alright.
Oh, it's one of those smart ones.
Thomas Jane saves the day. This is Carter. We get Saffron Burrows shows up. We get Saffron Burrows. This is the doctor. And we get her going to this meeting about the old shark escape.
Fucking hell, I forgot everything about this movie. So I've seen this movie a bunch of times. Like,
Totally.
when it came out, rented it for video shop. I think I owned it on DVD or something probably at one point and watched it a few times. But I've not watched it in about 15 years or something like that. Totally forgot the plot of the movie. Like, I know it's about like all these sharks in a underwater base and they need to escape. I forgot there's this whole element about Alzheimer's and stuff like that. I was like, let's get on it.
It's crazy.
And Saffron, like, they hurt me. Right? They hurt me, but she's not the actress to be delivering these lines. This ultra smart doctor. You need like a. I don't know why this is the first actress coming in. Elisa Kudrow could have pulled this off.
That's
It's a weird pull, I know, but like, she seems like
you could have
smart.
sat on that a bit longer, man.
I literally can't think of any other actresses. Why is it only Elisa Kudrow in my head?
Sharks show up and she starts singing Smelly Cat. I do not mean that. Actually, a really good actor, but
I don't know. I can't think of it.
Michelle Rodriguez would be okay at this. I do believe that. If you're going to stretch that far, they've tried this before. I mean, Denise Richards in the Bond movie.
Oh, for fuck's sake! It was Christmas Jones or whatever her name is.
Tara Reid in Alone in the Dark.
Jesus,
It's a scientist.
Who's an actress? Gina Davis, we spoke about earlier. She would have been good at this.
Gina Davis would be good in this.
Because she's very beautiful, but also believable as like a scientist and stuff as well.
99, even at like Meg Ryan would have been cool in this.
Absolutely, yeah.
I would watch her in a shark movie.
My point is, Saffron Burrows is...
Australian, Nicole Kidman. Nicole
Kidman would have been perfect.
And she knows what to do with sharks, man. She's fae there. Sorry, that might be rude.
I think
It's
all right.
follow them. Why would you live there? Move.
That, snakes and fucking spiders everywhere, man. Every time you turn around Australia, you're face to
Here,
face with something hideous.
They cause a dates for saying that, but I know it'll be like that. I've never been there, but I know it's follow them.
I couldn't go to the toilet in Australia, man.
You just open doors and it's follow them. Every door.
She struggles with all the dialogue and the scientific stuff she has to do in this movie.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful actress and she's good at like certain other things, but no this.
Plays the doc, goes to this meeting where they're shutting her ass down. They're like, this Alcatraz shark research is ridiculous. We're pulling out. There's been another escape. We get Samuel Jackson as the CEO of the
Why
company.
isn't Samuel Jackson just the guy behind the desk here? Like there's some other random white guy
Isn't
and
a
Sam Jackson
that-
standing behind him.
That isn't a random white guy. That's Ronnie Cox.
No, I know, but I'm talking about his role in this movie is just to be a white
But
executive.
he doesn't
guy.
say a word.
Exactly. He's completely useless.
Do you know him from like RoboCop and stuff?
Yes, yeah,
That's
it. Yeah, of
weird.
course.
He doesn't have one. I need to know why that is.
He must know the director or something. He just wanted to use him or something. Maybe it was like the last day of shooting. He shows up, anything for me today? And they're like, oh fuck, we've not done that board meeting scene yet.
It's so crazy to me, but yeah, he's sick of these shark shenanigans.
They're like, this isn't working. Like, we've gave you X amount of money to build some base in the water, to build sharks, to build a cure for Alzheimer's, and quite clearly we've realised that this is a ridiculous concept, so we're shutting you down. And she's like, no, have you ever known anybody with Alzheimer's? And she gives this mad, ridiculous speech.
Oh my, here, she says her father had Alzheimer's, right? And she says he would ask where my mother is, and every time I had to tell him that my mother wasn't coming back because she died, it killed him every time. Why did you tell him that? Why did you say that to him every single time? The man is suffering already from a degenerative disease. Tell him she's away to the shop, Dad. She loves you and she'll be back in 5 minutes. She's getting your favourite dinner. No, here, she got smacked by that van and then she'll go hit by the bonnet of that motor, hit back off that van. I'm basically describing the Meet Joe Black death, but
The best death in cinema.
why was she telling her father that every
Constantly,
time?
she was waiting him up for a nap here, by the way, your wife's dead.
That is, see if I was Samuel or Ronnie, I'd say, oh my God, we're sooner or not. That's dreadful.
It's so weird. None of it makes any sense.
And it's
Like-
not making fun of that in the slightest.
No, it's not making fun of Alzheimer's, it's making fun of this plot of the movie, which is so convoluted. All they need to do is say, like, we've got this lab, and we're doing some research down at the lab, and we need to do some animal testing. We're trying it on fish before we can try it out on humans, do you know what I mean? Whatever. And it's like a morally grey thing. Do you know what I mean? Whatever. Like, that's all you need to do, but that's so righteous, like, oh, we're trying to cure Alzheimer's thing. It's like, fuck off.
I guess it justifies.
Stabbed him in the brain with
I
needles
can't
and all that.
believe I'm saying this.
What does it justify, Kev?
Small sharks. Because this is what it's about.
That was the alternate title for this movie, Smart Sharks.
Here, right, oh, they're already smart.
Smart as
They
fuck.
didn't need to be smart. And here, they're already big and scary.
I've got a question for you, and can we jump ahead, like way ahead to like an hour later?
Please
in this
don't
movie?
ask me about the science, you, because
No,
I
no.
get rejected for biology. I get told spam science good for you.
No, I had this conversation, like argument with myself. Like, see that bit where LL Cool J's in the oven?
Yeah,
Did
we'll
the-
get to that.
No, but I'm just, did the shark turn it on?
Yeah.
Or did it just knock against it?
Knocked it on.
But like, did it mean to?
It's ambiguous.
Because I was thinking, like,
I
because
like
it's a
to-
smart shark, I'm like, oh, he's in the oven, I'm going to turn this on. And then I've got another part of me that's going like, fuck off, he just knocked against it because he's a big dafty.
I like to think he knocked it on, but I think he knocked against it.
Aye. Okay, sorry. It's just
It's
because it's
good, man.
smart sharks.
It's good. She says about her father's Alzheimer's and they get into the story. They give her until Monday, but Samuel Jackson's coming out for the weekend.
He wants to see this for himself. Again, this could all have happened in the chopper on the way there. Like, see the next scene with her and Samuel Jackson are in a chopper.
Exposition.
They could have done your exposition there.
Jurassic Park does it great.
This is a weird, unnecessary scene in an office with some white guy. It doesn't make any sense. And by the way, he's talking about things that make no sense and don't need to be in this movie. They're on this chopper, they're on their way to this facility.
It's a seaplane.
This seaplane, whatever.
These things look scary, man.
I'm never going to seaplane, fuck that. Because then you'd fall in the water. Right back when we started.
Only ever want to be on these after I've been chased by somebody and I grab them.
You go, shock, turn it on and then you like jump in it and there's a snake in it. But anyway, this Samuel Jackson being like, I was in the Alps.
This is...
What's going on?
This is its own film.
Exactly. I'm like, is this a sequel? I actually thought to myself, did I miss something?
It's so that you believe that he seeks adventure, I guess, and...
I don't need to know that. He's just an executive CEO, that's all I need to know.
It was weird, and does it...
It comes back later.
She says he saved people, and I think it implies he maybe ate somebody up there.
No, yeah, it kind of implies it, but they don't say this part. But then later on, before he dies, spoiler, he's like, people always ask me what happened up there. He's the cruelest killer isn't ice. The cruelest thing in the world is man or something. You're like, did you eat somebody, you dick?
Here, this Aquatica, by the way.
Are you talking about this facility that they're in?
It's a good location.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Big Shell.
Yeah.
I ring about you. It's the Metal Gear Solid 2 location, which is an oil rig, but it's the same idea. It's sort of a big... what's the word? Cubicle? Not cubicle. Diamond-shaped kind of...
It is Alcatraz.
Yeah, that's how it's described.
Submerged. It looks great.
I like the idea of like remote locations with a threat locked inside it and you're locked in with that threat. Yeah. That's always good for a movie.
Definitely. We get this roped up 12-footer from the night before. License plate in its mouth. Watch them. Watch the ones.
And do you know what that license plate is?
What's that, Rido?
It's the exact same license plate as in Jaws.
You're kidding.
Nope.
Samuel Jackson does a Fantasy Island bit about tattoo.
And the woman he's talking to, Janice, just doesn't get it at all. And he's like, I feel so old or something.
Yeah.
It's very close to I'm too old for this shit, but not quite.
He always nearly goes there.
Aye.
Thomas Jane, a.k.a. Carter, has a swim with a shark and Sammy's like, whoa, this kid's got it. He's going to make it in the shark business.
Well,
Did you see
even that. I think Samuel Jackson at the start, it's like, oh my god, there's somebody in the water. He's freaking it.
He heard that it was all about sharks and that, but when he got there, he's like, oh fuck, there's actually sharks.
I would be the same, man, but I'd get me back in that plane.
Here, you would need to pay me millions to go.
That again, be near it.
It's Alcatraz submerged. You're locked in with smarter sharks than usual and bigger.
Absolutely nothing to get me on there.
No.
Not a fucking chance in the world.
That is a hellhole.
It's a living hell, and do you know what makes it even worse? Fucking Tony Soprano's sister works there. I'm like, get me out of here.
On the radio?
On the radio, thank God, man. She gets killed off pretty quickly, because she is insufferable, man.
They are all pure loving Thomas Jane shark work.
Oh man, you know that he's the fucking big dick around campus, isn't he?
He said everybody.
He's like, I swim with these sharks, man, I don't give a fuck. And I'm also a criminal, apparently.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that stuff?
We'll get to it.
Why is it relevant?
We'll get to it.
Aye.
Thomas Jane takes a bite at Samuel Jackson for being a suit. I do not know why he's being rude.
He's a pure dick immediately. Samuel Jackson has done nothing to him. And he introduces himself and he goes, I don't like suits, and pure gives him the look. I'm like, fuck off, Thomas Jane. He
actually compliments him and...
Yeah, he says that was some impressive swimming there or something like that. And he's immediately just like, I don't like suits.
This guy, he's going to shut you down, maybe butter him up a wee bit. And...
Aye. Remember when he throws this license plate in front of the doctor's feet and she looks at him and he goes at that pool and he's soaking and she's looking at him and she's fucking soaking her off. There's some tension going on. Some sexual tension, Karen. You picked up a little bit down there.
I know you.
Was that enough?
I know I left that scene 2 minutes ago.
I know, but I just got up in my notes.
You were still there. and you grabbed your bike. Kill, jump on. And I'm like, right, why can't he go on stunt pegs, mate? I'm nearly 40. Kill, get on. And you pedalled me back to the scene of the crime.
He was soaking and she was soaking. That's a good punchline.
Soaking. And here we go. Papa Skarsgård himself.
Oh, man, playing the most miserable bastard you've ever seen in a movie.
He's just playing the Marvel character.
He's playing everybody he ever plays, but he gets such an unnecessarily cruel fate.
Wait, no, don't you say a word. Do not say a word. It is the best.
All I need to say is, like, he should have been more of a villain in this movie. Like, do you mean to get what's coming to him?
We are introduced to Skarsgård's doctor as he's
pissing into the wind,
and they mention that, they telegraph it, and it's a funny introduction.
That's alright.
Most of the crew take off for the weekend.
So this is so fucking mental. So, like, everybody fucks off onto a boat or on a chopper or something, and then Tony Soprano's sister, whose name I haven't written down, I'm sorry.
They are pure bouncing on this boat as they leave Aquatica. So would Abby.
But she says something like, oh, it's the weekend, so they all leave to go on show leave or whatever, and we've got a skeleton staff, and I'm like, why?
Including what feels like the doctors.
And the security.
But we're security, Connie Dave. Here we go. Scoggins himself. Our first Michael Rappaport movie.
That's crazy, because, like, the amount of shite films he's been in, you would have thought we would have covered him by now.
Did you see this goatee?
Oh, man. He went through a weird period of facial hair. And all these kind of movies around about this period.
He's dying, both of them, for this. And the brows, probably.
His hair
didn't he do a brow check? I'll go back. He must have. Scoggins.
Scoggins, that's his name. I've wrote Rappaport most of the time in my notes here, but his name is Scoggins.
Scoggins.
And call him Scoggs. I don't know exactly what his job is, but he's like the smart guy.
He's
the fucking... How could you cut out... Nay, hear me. It's the second time I've seen that.
What bet did you lose?
Who's like, we need like some sort of scientific genius, aka the nerd of the movie, and like, oh, Michael Rappaport with his Brooklyn accent, he can be a nerd.
This is so strange, man. Like, where was David Arquette?
He's perfect. David Arquette would have been perfect for this movie.
A young Matt Damon would have
You
done
made a
this.
joke earlier about David Spade. Even me fucking David Spade, a wee nerdy guy.
Rob Schneider is an obvious choice.
Yes, I mean, that would have made it far too... What you would have wanted him to die, though. That's the only thing about Rob Schneider.
What's with these smart sharks?
So I think, is this when Thomas Jane asked him about the fences?
Oh my god.
Because
he... Did you write it down?
So basically, Thomas Jane's looking at these fences around this construction site, and he's like, how high are these? And he says about 8 feet, and he's like, oh, you need to make them bigger because these sharks are smart and they'll jump over it or something. Is that what's implied?
He says the measurement is something, give or take a centimetre.
Aye, just to show he's a nerd. They have to be exact.
Rappaport just... If I saw him in B&Q with the orange on, I'd still walk past him and find somebody else. Do you know what I mean?
Aye, 100%.
If I wanted some cheap valleys, I'd ask him.
Aye.
No worries, buddy, I'll get you out back. This place is just... No, man.
They go in this elevator that takes you deeper down into the middle of the ocean.
She just describes 3 levels of hell.
Aye, so as they're going down the elevator...
A sharky hell.
As they're going down the elevator, this character Janice basically gives us the rundown of the way of the place, and basically it's like that. Remember the Resident Evil movie?
Yeah.
The umbrella location where it's just like
platforms,
slabs, and the further down you go is like the deeper security or whatever the fuck.
There's good scenes on that as they go up, I think, at one point, or down.
There's okay scenes. Aye, they go down to the bottom, then they need to fight their way up.
I was gutted. I was so gutted. I was dead. Oh my god.
And then Resident Evil 2, I thought, right, this would be better, man. Nemesis is going to be in it. And I was like,
Nemesis looks alright.
He looked okay, but then he started talking. You're like, Stars. You're like, shut up, you big dick.
She throws a floppy disk right into this big thing and does shark science. Did you see this, man? Sam Jackson really wants to be BFFs with Carter, but he's like, no,
Carter's just getting him jibbed the whole way through, and I think Sam Jackson at some point refers to the fact that he knows he's a criminal.
He knows his past for smuggling. Carter just wants to crack on and gives him his philosophy, and he goes on about, hey man, I keep my nose clean, I've just wrote, I would have just stopped him halfway and went, I
don't care, mate.
No, just
Aye.
Show me what you do. I'm doing an evaluation.
Show us your Stark stuff.
Don't be
man.
cheeky.
You know I'm the CEO, I could shut you down in an instant.
I can get you sniped for here. Look at this. And there's a red dot.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
He's capable.
Somehow under all this water.
It's a shark holding a sniper rifle.
One of those sharks in Austin Powers with the laser beams on their heads.
You're smart. Yeah. LL Cool J, yeah. We get Preach, the chef.
I would say the heart of this movie.
Yeah.
Like, he's funny, he's charming, he's kind of the only likeable one.
See, even when LL's in something in a ball hair like H2O, it's alright.
Aye, he's good, man. I like him.
Like, he's in this mostly himself at this point, and he's great. Well, apart from his sidekick, who I'm a big fan
that's
of.
fucking Birdman.
He's so great.
What do you think that was all about? We'll give him a bird. Is it just because they didn't want him on screen by himself? They had to have him. They had to like justify him talking out loud.
Why would you not want LL Cool J with a parrot?
No, that's a perfect answer. Aye, you're right. I don't know.
He's brilliant as well. He's called Bird, and he's green, and he's beautiful, and he gives his parrot some dessert, and he talks to him, and it's great. I love it.
It's a bit weird when the parrot, but when he's licking the cream off this finger, and he's all, you like that, didn't you, bitch?
You watched this in a different light.
Maybe I added that part, but he's liking it a bit too much.
Did you see? We get Carter as he goes sharking.
Man, he loves to shark. So what he does is he goes into the water and he lets sharks just come at him, and then he like jumps over them and kind of rides them by the fin.
Pure rides.
Do you know what I mean? No, like, he holds onto a fin and kind of like free willies this thing, man. I'm like, what are you doing?
He pure holds onto the fins. Did you see that?
Don't touch those fins, man. They wouldn't like that. If I was a shark, I would get off my fin.
You would be livid if you were a shark.
I would be doing the death roll. I know they don't do death rolls, but I would be like...
I would die. Have you seen them jump out the water?
They can jump now.
They've been well, they jump later, remember? They do that. You should see them jump.
Oh, like in Jaws, like, with their head just comes out.
Like
I thought
in
you meant
this,
like
when they pop out the water.
But do they completely clear the water?
They
Or is
can
it just
come
the
out and
top half?
flip and stuff. It's horrifying.
Not for me.
You need to watch just being slightly above the water now.
I'm getting nowhere near the water. I even hate the beach. Because that suggests water.
Aye. When I saw Jaws, I had a bed in a blue carpet and I hated it.
Oh, you were just a shitebag.
I thought it was going to come right through it.
Doc is here with Big Stellan. He's apparently some brilliant scientist. She's doing some gross experiment to this shark. The doctor, whose name I forget, is it Suzanne? Susan? Dr. Susan?
Right.
Dr. Saffron. You know what I'm talking about?
Saffron Burrows.
Saffron and Big Starsguard are in like their office and they're talking about science stuff. It's basically a bunch of nerd exposition. I'm not really listening.
Pure
This is a
shark
scene
science,
where like
man.
they've got this shark brain in a tube, and as she's talking to him, she's poking it with some big stick, and I'm like, oh, gross.
It is so gross. The science behind this looks ridiculous.
Oh, don't even worry. I'm not even going to attempt to justify the science in this movie. Just enjoy the film. It's one of those ones.
The full-on experiments later where she...
That's not as bad, but this bit where she's just... Basically, she's talking to this guy, and she's got a big stick, she's poking his brain with it as she's talking. It's pure weird.
She's pure having a poke. We get Saffron the Doc walking out to the deck. It's kind of spooky and creepy. I think there's atmosphere to this. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, but I don't know why, but I was also thinking, like, why are they doing a scene like this in Deep Blue Sea? Because we know it's about sharks. It'd be different if there was like a serial killer on board or something, but like...
We need to... It's like the, eating or briefing scene in Alien. You have to bring them together via something. And this is okay. So it lights up as a surprise party.
Yeah, they're all on the deck, and there's lights, there's music. LL Cool J is the barman.
Why is he working, man?
It's a party. They've got the chef work behind the bar. This is a bit weird.
Weird.
And they pair him up with Sam Jackson here, and they make some sort of, oh man, white people are crazy, aren't they, kind of joke.
Yeah, and Samuel Jackson calls LL Cool J brother. He says it back to him like snidely and comments on his Alps thing, and I agree with LL Cool J.
He says like, why is a brother? What he says something like, why is a black man going up to the Alps? And I'm like, why is any man going up to the Alps? But like,
it's not for me.
No.
What's
up there for you?
If you told me there was a Yeti, I'd go up and want to see that Yeti.
Yeah, okay, fine. But even then, I would just happy to see a video of a Yeti. I don't need to be there in person.
They talk about how they're going to make these sharks freaking huge and massive via science.
Yeah. I've wrote the nerds talk about shark genetics. I've wrote the nerds talk about shark genetics.
Nerds!
And then they say if this test doesn't work tomorrow, they're all fucked. So basically, they're setting up the scene that there's some big test happening tomorrow and it has to go well. And if it doesn't go well, then the whole project's shut down. And that's why Sam Jackson's here. Yeah.
They should have done a montage of them doing it through the night to like some 80s song.
Would have loved that. I would have
A shark on a treadmill.
getting pure buff.
In the water. And Thomas Jane's like the opposite. He's like punching meat in the kitchen.
He's like the Rocky and Drago thing.
And he fights a shark. Carter is saying to the docs that the sharks are getting worrying, and I'm like, they're sharks, they're already fucking worrying.
He's looking at a shark and being like, that's fine, man, but I hope it doesn't get buff all of a sudden.
She's like, I want to poke an air one.
Oh, she's fucking far too into sharks.
She's watching to poke an air shark. Or a starfish. The doctor threatens his job. It's pure brutal, and he's like, what are you doing, Doc? What are you doing, Doc, huh?
This whole scene is weird, and this whole narrative in this movie just kind of falls apart later about him being an ex-con, and she basically alludes to the fact that she's a doctor, she'll find another job, but an ex-con like you getting fired, you'll struggle to find work kind of thing. This weird element of like classism comes into the movie out of nowhere, and it doesn't go anywhere, doesn't it? At the end of the movie, none of this matters. Why are they giving us it?
She's a pure villain in this though, man. Like,
she's the baddie.
She does, so we're going to get to it.
And everybody hates her. I do like the fact that everybody calls her out. Like, she gets called a bitch like 3 times in this movie by 3 different people.
He looks out to the storm. Rappaport's...
Man,
sorry,
see, that's with a straight face.
Sorry, Skoggs. Rappaport's Skoggs says he's raised the fences. How did they do that? I would go and double check, man. The weather reports are dicey. And the storm is starting to look really cool and kind of scary.
Yes. Right, here's my one, well, not my first, but many of the problems with this movie. You would just cancel this test. So the whole thing is, there's this big storm happening, the weather's terrible, the water's going on mental, the waves, it looks really cool, the waves are going mental, you can see the lightning in the distance, but Thomas Jane needs to get into this water to round up these sharks to experiment on, but they even say at one point that they can't see him in the cameras because of the water, and they say to him, okay, we've got like 0% visibility on you, be careful. I'm sorry, man, but see if there's like a health and safety guy in there, you'd be like, get him out of there, we're not doing this until tomorrow.
Yeah.
There's a storm, let's just wait, delay the test until the storm passes and we'll try again in the morning.
They would have had
They just power through.
They would have had a 2-week redo at least, like, not like 3-month redo on that.
Absolutely,
bad boy.
They would know when the storm's coming. They wouldn't do this big important test on the day of a storm. Like, and even Samuel Jackson, you'd think would understand. You'd be like, look, can you wait another couple of hours? We'll delay it 12 hours and we'll come back and see if the weather's made up, because like our employees' safety is paramount. But instead they're just like, get in this tunnel, Thomas Jane, we can't see you, but good luck.
They're lucky there wasn't a Sharknado, man.
Oh man, even that movie makes more sense than this.
LL Cool J threatens this parrot, and I'm like, oh no, man, don't punch the parrot.
Oh, don't fall out with your pal.
Oh man. Doc, where's this mad key?
This is unnecessary. Again, there's loads of stuff in this movie that you think is going to be really important and isn't it? basically she puts this key around her waist, she puts this key around her neck on like a chain, and you see her like zipping up her shirt or whatever, and you're like, oh, that key's important, I need to remember that. All it does later is open some filing cabinet.
Yeah.
Like, the scene would have worked without a key. See, if she would have went into her office and opened the filing cabinet, it would have been just as important. Hey, it doesn't matter. My point is, it's just there's a load of stuff in this movie. Like Samuel Jackson's apps, escapades, Hingme's criminal past, and then this key that just doesn't matter. It's just filler, isn't it?
They turn on the lights and get this thing going. Carter's mental and goes out there. It looks horrifying.
So he has to go through like this sort of tunnel thing. Then these sharks start coming at like either side of him, like in this steel cage that he's in, and they start ramming it with their heads. And then he pulls out a gun and they shoot themselves with the gun. And Samuel Jackson says the line, have you got it? Tell me I didn't just see that.
I didn't have that, no, Ryan, but I really liked it.
It's funny that, because like, because they're smart sharks, they recognise a gun, they're like, oh, ass, he's packing heat.
He does this shark with a stunner and brings it home on this loading dock. Did you see this loading dock?
Aye, it was cool, man. This set was really cool. I will say this about the movie, and there's a more impressive one coming up later on, but all the sort of interior sets are fucking really nice in this film. Like the labs and even the corridors and stuff, like, look really, really great.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good practical effect work. Not the shark stuff, but see all the other stuff, just the sort of world that makes you feel like you're in this sort of enclosed hellhole. I think it works really well. So this stuff all works for me.
It's like a space movie as well.
It's like Alien.
Great, yeah.
You feel like you're on the ship. Do you know what I mean?
He brings this fish home. We get Skoggs, aka Michael Rappaport, saying, "Did somebody order the fish?" I'd be like,
kitchen. Oh man, see if I've been locked on this thing with him for like months, because I assume that's like people that work on these oil rigs, they go away for like months at a time. You know, he says that every day, the same joke. Did anybody order the fish?
Dude.
And at first you went, just to, do you know what I mean, like, support him, but 6 months in, you're like, I'm going to fucking kill you. Say that one more time, motherfucker, and I'll feed you to this fish. Oh, you'd have such cabin fever.
I would find a white Ace Ventura onto these sharks, man.
Oh, that bit's amazing.
Oh, honestly, man. We get Papa Skarsgård. I point this out to my wife, and she asks how beautiful the wife must be. We get this shark loaded, strapped, and Skarsgård says she's sleeping like a baby.
He just looks like a big miserable bastard, and he's just pure mopey and sad throughout this movie. He's not in it for much longer, but like, he's just sad the whole way through, isn't he?
They hook this shark up to a Sharkulator 280. Don't they, Ryder?
It is a belter though, and it pure fits him perfectly.
She just syringes this shark's brain and pours honey on it, and she's happy.
So I've wrote, they all stand around and watch this shark brain scan. A bunch of nerd stuff happens. The shark does not like being poked and prodded. It like, there's a sort of jump scare here, but Thomas Jane says he's having a bad dream. Is that a joke? I don't understand.
It says he's having a wee nightmare, and they're freaking out because the readings are off the shark charts.
Aye, so she pokes this big laser into the shark's brain, pokes a big stick into the laser and extracts some brain fluid. I don't know what it is. Membrane or something? Who cares?
How does she activate it?
These big spikes with lasers, I know what you're talking about.
She just pours it out of the brain.
Aye, so there's a bit of like brain tissue on a petri dish, and she just like drips a wee bit of it onto it, and then she looks for a microscope and goes, "It worked!" They're all jumping about high-fiving because they found the cure to Alzheimer's. Is that what we get for this scene, that this is the cure?
There's some success.
They all seem very happy.
Yeah.
They're all going like 6.5 seconds, yay! I'm like, seconds to what? Like,
somebody isn't happy.
What? Big Stellan Skarsgård isn't happy. But I think he is happy, but he's relieved because he takes out a cigarette and smokes it, and then he bends down to the shark and says something to it. I don't have the line of what he says, but he says like, "Oh, you're going to make me very rich," or something like that to the shark, and the shark's like, "Fucking chump!" It just goes to the man out of nowhere and takes his arm clean off.
He's so sad about it, man.
I mean, you would be if you lost your arm. It's a pure clean bite though. Like, he doesn't rip this arm off, it just goes whoosh.
Man,
He would be dead, man. Like, a shock and blood loss because there's blood everywhere.
Jenky peed on that shark earlier and it's like, I'm getting you
When he
later.
pissed into the wind,
Yeah.
it hit the shark's forehead a wee bit. He's like, you're getting it first.
It got a bit of him and a bit of Samuel Jackson. He's like, I'm going to eat him after after he that shark. Yeah, the shark gets Stellan's arm. You realise, oh, this is gory. This is great.
Yeah, so we're like, at this point, we're like half an hour into the movie. This isn't near the start. We're quite deep into the film at this point. And then things start kicking off. So, this shark bites this guy's arm. There's blood everywhere. It's proper gory. It looks pretty good. In fairness, it still kind of holds up.
Everybody is freaking out, and I've just wrote here, see if that was you. At this point, I would kick you and start eating your air arm so the other sharks thought I was on their side.
I'm one of you. Chomp, chomp, chomp.
They would take one look at my haircut and go, he's no smart at all.
At this point, Thomas Jane's like, I've had enough of this shark. And he grabs a shotgun and he goes to like shoot this shark. But the doctor, Saffron, I've no wrote her name again, Susan. Dr. Susan's like, no, don't. She presses this button and helps the shark escape. At this point, man, you just shoot her. No.
Oh my.
Is that an overreaction?
You're cleaning up.
She's like, no, my Alzheimer's cure, you can't do that.
Ah. The helicopter response is en route.
Man, let's talk about this this is a shit show here.
It's a mess.
They phone in a chopper during a massive thunderstorm. That chopper wouldn't take off. They would phone you back and be like, no, it's too dangerous for us to leave the now, we need to wait.
We're not
Patch him up and hold off until somebody else can get here.
We're not putting our people at risk because you're trying to play God.
Exactly.
Dr. Saffron or whatever.
So this helicopter, I don't know where the helicopter is. I get it, where it came from. Is it circling? Because they get here pretty fast, this emergency chopper. The rain's wind is horrible. This isn't it?
I like this scene a lot.
It's cool. It looks great. It looks fantastic.
It looks so scary. It reminds me of do you remember the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom opening? The really good bit about that film.
I didn't see. No, Fallen Kingdom, that was a sequel.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I seen the first one. I was like, that's enough for me.
The opening of the sequel's really good. It's atmospheric like this, and this is all creepy to me. It's really good.
This looks fantastic. I like the music, the score. It's very tense. I like the waves crashing off the walls. The helicopter looks good. The lighting's amazing. This all looks fantastic. It's just stupid logically. This helicopter wouldn't do this. And then their answer is, instead of trying to land and help him there, they hook him up to a crane in the middle of a thunderstorm and try and drag him up with a pulley system.
Oh.
They wouldn't do that.
They try and
Couldn't they do that? That's fucking bullshit, Karen. I'm not having pulley systems in my shorts, man.
You're the things that has been in this film, and you're choosing to get so vindictive about
It
this.
doesn't make sense.
They try and raftle this Skarsgård up on this woolly bird. Sorry.
Could you imagine not being on that stretcher? How terrifying that would be.
Oh,
You're lying on a bed and you're
Mate.
getting hooked up to a helicopter.
Listen, what happens to him is literally the scariest thing in the world. They try and raftle this Skarsgård up on this woolly bird.
And of course it feels, because of, as soon as it shows you like a close-up of this thing going up, I'm like, it's showing a close-up because we're going to see it in 2 seconds break and jam and then explode, because it always happens in all these movies and cartoons. Whenever there's a pulley system, it always breaks.
His arm has been chewed off by a smart shark already. He knows this shark.
He's fucked with this shark for months.
He's psychologically like, where am I? Why is the sky so scary? Is that hell beneath me there still full of monsters?
Is hell above me or is it below me? I don't know. He's in the middle of nowhere. He's getting swung about in these gale force winds. There's rain everywhere.
And
there's lightning. There's a helicopter. There's people shouting and screaming. He must be like, what the fuck? He's got a gas mask or like an oxygen tank on. He must be like, oh my god, this is how I'm going to die. And then
what happens?
The pulley system breaks and he falls all the way down into the water. Imagine falling into water while you're strapped down to a bed.
And you know there's sharks.
But even then, like, even falling, you're just going to suffocate and drown. You're hoping that's what happens before these fucking sharks get you.
The Aquatica takes some amount of explosions here, like a million.
This is a Michael Bay level explosion here.
It's like
So he falls into the water. The sharks then grab the stretcher
sorry, the front. Oh yeah, the sharks grab the stretcher, right?
and start swimming with the stretcher, but the stretcher is still connected to the wire. It's still connected to the chopper.
How do we know this though? Yeah. Sorry, you were explaining that before, but go for it.
Yeah, so we're on this pulley system. The pulley's still connected to the stretcher, which is fell into the water. The sharks grab the stretcher and start swimming with it, but he's still connected to the chopper. So the chopper starts getting dragged along by the sharks. All the crew, like our other stars in the movie, are just standing watching this, unable to help in any way. So they're just standing screaming. The sharks are pulling it closer and closer towards this big radio tower that Tony Soprano's sister's in, and the helicopter hits the tower. The tower collapses and explodes. There's fire and flames everywhere. And then there's also these big gas tanks, these big oil tanks that they crash into, so they blow up. And basically there's just explosions fucking everywhere. It looks like a nuke. It looks like the end of Oppenheimer.
This place wouldn't be stunning.
Well, they do kind of explain. Well, doesn't it? As I said, the complete surface level is wiped out basically, and the only reason they survive is because they go underground.
Check you, nerd. You're pure slagging these nerds.
No, but I think what's his name? Rappaport explains it, and you can trust him.
Oh,
he knows what he's on about.
Follow him, man.
Because they go, obviously explosions go up the way, I guess, and because they're underneath it all, they're fine.
Alright, Scoggins.
I don't know, man. My point is, this is the first sort of big action sequence of the movie, and it looks great. I actually really like this scene, despite my outrage at the chopper's response time.
We cut to the cast and we see, the front of Aquatica it's got a big glass front underwater.
That is weird. Well, I guess that's what you would have if you worked in an aquarium. You've got the glass where you can see the fishes and that, so like...
But they're above ground, right? I feel like you're really vulnerable. Like, that's a weird logic.
I'm like, submarines have got windies. Haven't they? I don't know what.
You were talking about an aquarium and a pet shop.
I'm talking about an aquarium with a going fucking boat. No, alright, hold on, we can figure this out. We are adult men that are smart. You can have glass underwater as long as it's reinforced, eh? Or like it wouldn't be glass, it'd be that weird plastic, like plexiglass or something maybe. It'd be double glazed.
And who's installed it? Michael Rappaport?
Probably, man, with sellotape and duct tape and all sorts.
And his air cousin for Staten Island.
I got a guy. I got my guy Johnny. He'll do it real nice.
It's just him. And he
a mustache.
He puts a bandana on and he cuts his pubes off and sellotapes them in his face. But you need to call him Kevin the whole time, man. He takes
his name's Boggins.
Kevin Boggins. The front of this thing is glass, and this is one of the greatest moments on film ever. This is so cruel.
That's the word, man. It's like this guy's fate. He's had a hellish death. Like first of all, he's dead. He's not still living at this point, but we see him still alive. But falling from a helicopter and being dragged under by sharks after having your arm cut off is bad enough. But then they're like, we're going to fuck with this guy even more. The sharks take the stretcher and they swim right up to the window and they launch him still alive, strapped to the stretcher, and he smacks the window so all his friends can see him die.
They pure granny him against the glass, man. It is
And the
mad.
sharks are sending a message, so
They'll let here we fucking go.
This is a pure young team move. Might as well put their mention above it.
We're moving in. We're in your scheme. I can't.
I can't go with this. The CGI as well is horrific.
He gets flung against the front.
And they're going so fast.
He's
You know, it's
still-
just like 100 mile an hour under this water, and they launch. Somehow they managed to throw a stretcher, and he collides with this glass.
He's
face
still,
first,
He's
man.
still alive.
He's still alive. He's like,
This is the worst death ever.
and is it his wife? Is that woman Janice his wife or his girlfriend or something?
She's definitely caught up
They're
on
banging. She's watching him screaming.
Can I
And
be
Samuel
honest?
Jackson's like, we need to run.
Can I be serious?
Aye.
See if I seen what he went through, I would just stand on the spot and scream. And I wouldn't stop.
You would just open your arms and let the water embrace you.
Oh, what's the point in living after seeing something like that? I'd never let it down.
I don't, because there's another death scene later on in this movie where Skog's Michael Rappaport completely breaks down after it, and I'm like, I'm with him. I'd be that guy on the fetal position in the flare, just being like, we're fucked.
See the things that they need to go through in this, like the Poseidon adventure, like that's kind of what it is. They need to go up and go through
horrific.
obstacles. It's great, and yeah, I would stop at everyone and go no, and eventually you would go just fucking leave them.
Man, I am with you as well, but I would just dig my feet in and be like, I'm just going to die here. You just go on without me.
Until I see the shark and I'm running behind you and I am pure
I'm
screaming.
finding a gun and putting it in my own mouth. That's
you
the
doing it?
best case scenario is you get to kill yourself before the shark kills you.
Are you misting yourself?
Alright, man. So he gets launched into this glass window, and then the window explodes, and they'll freak out and they'll need to like run out of this room. It's quite tense. It's a good wee scene here where they're all getting out and they need to seal the door behind them.
Yeah.
They're all trying to seal the door, and Janice is just sitting there screaming. That would be me. I would just be going, ah!
I would be with you, man. We'd be in surround sound. The opposite ends of the room.
I've been no help in this situation. I could not think of a worse hell than being locked in the middle of the ocean, surrounded by killer smart sharks.
LL Cool J is on the phone. It isn't working. He knows there's trouble.
He grabs some cooking sherry. Is that what he's drinking? He grabs a bottle of something
Yeah.
that he's drinking. And as he's drinking, he hears all this creaking. He's freaking out a wee bit, and he starts talking to God.
Yeah.
That becomes a weird running theme in this movie. There's a kind of religious overtones to his character. Obviously, he's a religious guy. He's got the crucifix that he's always holding, which comes into play later.
So a big Toretto bad boy.
It is a pure Toretto, isn't it? Pure,
Aye.
firmly. But he talks to God a lot, LL Cool J. He's like out loud.
That's whatever.
Man, I don't know, I'm not religious at all, but in that situation, I'd be talking to whatever God you wanted me to. I'd be phoning Tom Cruise
Man.
asking for that guy help.
That shark would be in front of me and I'd be like, I'll suck your dick, man. Please,
Have you got
man.
one? What do you want me to do? To
Please.
slap your fin? I don't know.
I'll just get it out. I'll call you Pappy. It cuts back and forth between the group and LL Cool J. They're trying to find a safe path. LL Cool J notices the breach. He starts talking to God, like Rydell mentioned. Carter maps out their escape. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
They go to the stairwell. There's a loud, huge noise.
The bird fucks off here. The bird knows what's coming and just flies away from
It's
him.
cool.
It is pretty cool. At that moment, though, I'm following that bird. I'm like, he's running for something, let's run. But LL Cool J's like, I'm going to see what's up this staircase.
It's quite a monstrous creek, isn't it?
And it's well shot as well. It's like up this staircase, which is kind of fucking light. It's kind of, you feel like there's going to be a monster coming.
I love his little movie down here.
It's great. I would watch more of this, just him.
It should have kept them separated much longer, try to avoid it.
The thing is, I remember this movie when I was a kid, and in my head, he has his own movie and they don't meet each other until the very end. But that's not the case, but it should be.
I know it probably is better to bring them together, but him and the parrot a bit longer trying to navigate
Absolutely.
this.
And he
Would have
just
been
gets
cool.
he manages to escape just by sheer dumb luck and stuff like that. Whereas Thomas Jane's like more of an action guy, and he's
Yeah.
using his swimming skills or whatever the fuck he's. Do you know what I mean, he's like the action hero guy that goes out by doing cool guy stuff. Whereas LL's the sort of comedy relief, doing
Yeah.
sort of like the oven stuff and all that. Like,
Yeah.
you have the two different juxtapositions of each other,
Yeah.
but they're still fighting sharks. I mean, there's 3 sharks, so you can have one each following each guy. Do you know what I mean? No? And then a third shark to kill all the wee dafties like Rappaport and that.
Well, there's 2 sequels to this, so we'll see what it's like.
That's right. I
Aye.
noticed that last night when I was looking this up.
Crazy.
Have you seen them?
No, but you know I will.
Or we will for this podcast.
We should. Yeah.
Aye, I think so. Deep Blue Sea 2. How could it be any worse?
The group reach a door that starts spitting its piss everywhere and they run to another door. Sorry, but this is just what happens here. There's just doors and waves.
It's mostly it's just walking down corridors and running away from water at this point. Because they explain at some point, there's a throwaway line about the pressure and how this place is going to collapse in on itself or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm not really caring about the science. We're underwater and it's imploding slowly. So they need to get as high as they possibly can. As you mentioned, it's a Poseidon adventure. So they all run up this staircase, and at this point, man, they do this thing that they do in all movies. They do it in Titanic. They do it in every sort of emergency movie. This thing that I hate. Well, they'll find a staircase, but the guys like Thomas Jane and Rappaport sort of stay behind, and they turn to the women. They're like, right, use up first, and they sort of help them up. I'm sorry, man. I'm elbowing cunts out of the way. I'm getting up these stairs first.
Do you mean...
See if we find a door and there's like water and sharks behind us, I'm not like, right, women, you go first. I'm up there right away.
Do you mean your wife and 2
My wife and
daughters?
Wayne's, man. It's game over.
You're using them as stepping stones.
I'm stepping on my Wayne's seeds. Aye, man, I'm elbowing people out the way. I'm getting up these stairs first. And then
Yeah.
this chivalry nonsense.
Can I be honest?
Aye.
If it's Titanic style and that elevator gate's holding me back, 2 of your weans would be good at
Ramming my Wayne's on an elevator gate.
ramming the elevator gates, man. I don't know what else to do, so I'm sorry.
I'm like, there's a bench here there. No, let's use
I'm
these
doing
human
this
children.
already, Ryan. I may as well stick with it. Could you use our feet? Sorry.
Speaking of Titanic, by the way, like, the most relatable guy in that movie is the guy that puts the jacket on and sneaks onto the boat.
I know,
See, when
man.
he's like women and children first, and he manages to sneak on. What a champion.
I don't
What a
care
hustler.
what they had, man. I sat my what you gonna do?
But you're going to take the boat
who
back?
you?
We're sinking, we've not got time for
What
that.
do you mean? I've seen your man. What's he gonna do? Who are you?
I'll fucking batter him. Tell him moan then.
Kathy Bates backing his bow. Fucking right, Kathy Bates. I love you and all, hen. Did you get any booze? Throw it, Erdo. How you doing? Is
Aye.
that Kate Winslet? Is she single? Wait 5 minutes.
She is now.
Wait 5 minutes before you go earlier. I want her.
So Samuel Jackson, as you say, is basically is like, right, what's going on? What have you done to these sharks? And she admits that they broke the Harvard something convention. What is it called? Some sort of rule that says you're not allowed to genetically mutate sharks. Is that what you said earlier about playing God? Like, you're not allowed to play God?
It must be talking about mutation.
I assume it's a real thing.
Crossing
like,
genes and
yeah,
different species.
like you're allowed to do experiments on some sort of animals, but you're not allowed to like play God and mix them for or whatever. Whatever has happened, they've no listened to that and they've broke the law.
Yeah.
And they've decided to mutate these sharks to make their brains bigger so that the Alzheimer's cure is better or something. I don't know, man. Are you picking any of this up? My eyes are rolling to the back of my head during this. I'm like, what's going on, man?
I just catch that Carter, he gets really upset here. He's a bit like me, man. He gets angrier, but he doesn't understand half of what she's talking about.
No, he just knows that he's supposed to. He looks at Samuel Jackson's face and sees that he's raging. He's like, aye, I know. Fuck's sake.
Both of you and I would do that, and later we'd go, did you understand that?
Yeah, what's the Harvard convention?
Aye, get your phone out.
I've not got a signal, man, under all this water. Can you Google what this is?
Will we just go? Aye.
And Big Rappaport's like, fucking, you don't know he's trying to act like we're the dafties. It's like, shut up, Rappaport.
Check your goatee, mate. Aye.
Janice, this place goes, you're a stupid bitch.
Yeah, it's a
His
hard
line
one.
delivery, man, is pure brutal.
It's a thick line delivery, man.
It's nice and thick and meaty.
He pure delivers this line about being the boatman of the food chain. It's pretty good.
There's a lot of that in this. There's a lot of like lines about like God and the food chain. There's one that's coming up later that we'll get to about Einstein and all that sort of carry on. I'm like, just give me sharks eating people, man. There's weird philosophy things in this movie that just fall flat in their face.
The group hot-foot it to somewhere else, steamy and metally and wetty, but not before Rappaport says she's screwed with the sharks. Now the sharks are screwing with us.
You know, that's for the trailer, innit? I've not seen the trailer, but that sounds like a pure trailer line. It's pretty bad.
You know how often actors ask for more money when the material hits? I think they deducted him money for
For each of these fucking lines.
Oft.
And who decided it would be him to deliver these? You've got Samuel Jackson here, who's the king of these big lines, and they're like, no, Rappaport's on the go.
He's our guy.
Do you think it's like Samuel Jackson had to like 50 grand to say it, whereas Rappaport's like, I'll take a Mars bar.
As long as you deep fry it. He's oh man. Like, he knows he's wearing a Budgard van, doesn't he?
Aye, totally. He knows the guy that owns the van. He's like healthcare guy that knows it's got roaches, but he's like, oh, it's alright. He's me it for a £5.50 because I know about the roaches.
He doesn't mind at all.
Aye, he just picks them off.
A shark chases LL Cool J. Here we go.
He finds a playboy.
He finds a playboy.
It's not very religious of him.
The group reach a wee submarine thing.
Man, this thing's fucked. They go into this room. I guess that was the plan. I get confused watching this movie because I don't know where they're going. I think they're on purpose going to this room to try and escape via the submarine, am I right?
Aye.
But then when they get there, they see that it's been fucked. LL Cool J's been chased by this shark. He runs into a kitchen. He grabs a frying pan, which is pretty funny because what's that going to do?
He climbs up these shelves.
He climbs up these shelves. Also, he's grabbing his crucifix here. He kind of gets away, like this shark, I guess he loses it and it kind of swims away from him and he thinks he's safe.
This is all shot wonderfully.
This is great. This reminds me a lot of Titanic. I know Titanic's the obvious one to mention because of the water, but see, like, after the whole iceberg thing, the Titanic, where like they're all in the elevator, as you mentioned, all that stuff I think is good about that movie. All the tents trying to get to the surface kind of thing. This is similar to that, where it looks great, the sets are good, the lighting's good, it feels terrifying.
I've mocked it for so long. I watched that a couple of years ago expecting to do the same, and it's just great, man.
It's a good film, isn't it?
Brilliant.
You can't say anything about Titanic. It's a great film.
Absolutely excellent. It's such a magnificent accomplishment by everybody involved. It really is. LL Cool J climbs up shelves. His bird flies about until it's eaten.
Here's the thing I don't understand though. Like, this parrot flies over to a pot that's floating in the water, and he's reaching over his hand to try and get it. Why is he doing that? I'm sorry, man. If a parrot flies near the water, I'm like, you're dust, mate. I'm sorry.
Fuck, man.
The shark's there and you're going close to it. You're a parrot, you've got wings, you can go up higher, and you're choosing to go down there.
You've worked out the logistics of this.
I'm reasoning with this bird. I'm like, here, mate, you should be up high because sharks are in the water. I don't know if you know that, parrot.
Your conscience is cleared.
I tell you, you're no smart. This parrot. Need a smart parrot in this movie.
Do you know who you are, man? You know how Robert Carlyle in 28 Weeks Later, where he runs away from his family? That's you.
You have to do it to survive.
You're right. You keep saying that. That's the weird part.
It's only a parrot, man.
Stop saying that.
Fucking budgie.
Parrot's gorgeous, man. Oh, it deserves to live.
I bet he was delicious as well.
His name's Bird as well.
Exactly. He didn't even care to name it. He's like, oh, you're a bird, I'll call you Bird. That's like calling your dog.
I'd have hugged it or something, man. Like, you could have helped that bird a bit more. But anyhow, the parrot gets it and it's brutal. It could have been in the film a bit longer, so I was saying. He falls in and this
You like released the parrot cut.
It could have been in it a bit longer, though. That would have been
it could have been that relationship.
Or he
needed to be
flies back at the end and I'm like, yeah. And
it would have been good if like he tries to bait the parrot, but in the last second he flies away and just flies out of the room. You're like, oh, parrot, come back. You don't know what happens to it, and then it comes back at the very, very end. when they're lying there on the container, like after the shark's been blown up.
I would have made the key more relevant at one point. The parrot grabs it and saves the day. I like this
Parrot
parrot.
opens the filing cabinet.
That's a bit far-fetched. Imagine if a parrot fought the shark, man.
Man, take my money. That's the big fight at the end. It's got big talons and it goes for the shark's eyes.
The parrot should have been in it, man.
See if, like, because they're in a kitchen right here, I'm just thinking out loud, like, maybe there's a pot and it's got, like, hot oil or something, and the parrot picks up the pot and dumps it over the shark or something like that.
That's excellent. So, LL Cool J claims he falls in. This is all really tense. It's shot excellent. Samuel Jackson talks to the group. He says, you need to get into wetsuits before they climb into the water. They need to go into the water at this point.
Well, they're trying to think of an escape plan. I think the submarine was an escape plan, but it's been jacked. That's all fucked, so they're just going to swim it, I think. That was the idea originally. They're going to swim it, I think, was the idea. And Rappaport's like, no, let's go up the way. He's like, but if we go up here, the pressure will get us and there's a chance we'll all blow up or something. I don't really know. Again, there's more sciencey stuff. And I don't know if it's clear, Karen, but I don't know anything about the water and water pressure and all that carry on. And I'm no trusting Michael Rappaport to be the one to tell me.
He's a good, if you need a scumbag though, or a grass, he's a good grass.
Grass. He's an informant in those movies, do you know what I mean? Like somebody that they catch and arrest for a petty crime, they're like, who's your supplier? And he's that guy who squeals.
They climb into the water. LL Cool J Chef climbs into the oven at this point.
He grabs an axe. He finds an axe. He grabs this red axe that he's got. It's pretty cool. Then the shark comes back. He freaks out. He climbs into what is a drawer, or what looks like a drawer. Turns out it's an oven, which is, I guess, smart. Because here's my thing, right? I know it's a movie. I know it's stupid, but that oven wouldn't be working still.
Here.
It's half submerged in water. But the shark then turns the oven on.
The shark slaps it on.
It's debatable whether this smart shark does this on purpose or if it just knocks the button. Either way, see, even if it does turn it on, no way that oven's still working. It's submerged in water. It wouldn't even be plugged in.
I don't know.
Do you plug an oven in?
It's probably...
It's a gas oven, not an electric one. We know that because he starts coughing.
It's probably pretty watertight, man. Here, I might stay in there rather than getting eaten by a big shark, man.
No, but that's a horrible... That's a slow death.
I'm gutted about my
Although
parrot.
I suppose you would get gassed first before you... Like, the gas would just knock you out. You would die of carbon monoxide poisoning probably first.
Yeah.
And then... Anyway, it's a pretty good escape, though. I like the fact that he's got this axe and he cuts a hole in the drawer above him and climbs through.
That is so cool. It reminds me of Dog Soldiers.
Yeah, totally.
It's a great escape, always.
It's a great tense escape sequence. The shark is banging on this oven. He's trying to fight out of it. He does this thing where he gets to the upper drawer, the upper level, and he opens the door and jumps over the shark, which is pretty cool.
It's a great scene, and he's cool in it. And
Yeah, it's cool. Then he pulls out a lighter, and obviously because all the gas for the oven, he throws the lit lighter at the oven, and it explodes and blows up the fucking shark, man.
he says it's in honour of his bird. It's cool. It's really cool.
What is it he says before he throws it? He says,
It's
you
like,
ate my bird. He says, you ate my bird. And it's cool, man.
throws
It's a cool scene.
Yeah, he could have done more action movies. I
bet you he's got a bunch of straight to DVDs that we don't know about.
I would have took LL and Fast serious, man.
100% over fucking ludicrous.
Over Ludacris, over, like, who else would I have took out in that? Like, the main, he would have been a good villain.
He would have done the Jason Statham role perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
What other
because he's cool, he's muscular, he's handsome, he's charismatic, and let's face it, you don't need to be a good actor to be in those films.
Rappaport, aka Scogs, talks science about pressure in a maintenance hatch. Samuel Jackson does his speech, and I'm starting to get excited.
Is he... Right, okay, as I mentioned when I first seen this movie, like 15, 20 years ago or whatever, to me this happened right at the start of the movie. I was amazed that we're like 50 minutes into this thing and he's still alive. I was sure that Samuel Jackson dies like 5 minutes into this thing.
He's in it longer than I thought.
Yeah, I thought he was the first death as well. I thought like he dies before Skarsgård died.
Yeah.
He's in like half of this movie. But this is iconic. Like, this is the scene from this movie that everybody talks about. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah.
This death scene is I mean, it's not supposed to be and it's not played this way, but it's hilarious. It is so funny. But in the speech, it's a great speech, but then he also talks about this weird shit about the Alps and all that, and how ice was so scary, it's like it had a purpose or something like that.
He says he said if you're scared of water, you should see ice.
That's not helpful either. It's like, we're not near ice now.
I'd still phone and see, what does that mean?
What does it mean?
Ice is daft.
Ice is just really cold water.
Did you eat some, cunt?
And I'm like, I'm not worried about ice right now, Sam Jackson. I'm trying to deal with this water situation we've got.
Have you seen these fucking sharks? Why are you talking about? He steps. He's quite close to a pool of water, and then what happens, Rido, after this big rousing speech?
He's in the middle of a sentence, basically, because we all need to pull together or something, but before he can get all that out of his mouth, this shark just pops out the water and does him in the water. It just grabs him and kills him instantly. And you're like, oh, not in the cinema, because I wasn't in the cinema, but I was sitting in the living room like, what the fuck?
Imagine seeing that cinema opening night.
It would have been an amazing opening night in the cinema. The place must have been going mental.
It would have been incredible.
And this is 99 Sam Jackson, one of the biggest, obviously still is one of the biggest stars in the world, but like, this is
I
prime
would
Jackson.
Stood up, man, ripped my shirt through my popcorn there and screamed, "It's like Drew Barrymore, but the middle!"
And this is way better than Drew Barrymore's death.
And they'd have been like, "Oh fuck, he's seen this 3 times already today."
Scream even out at this point.
Scream had been out 3 years.
Aye, but my point is, Sam Jackson, the big star of the movie, who you're assuming is going to either live to the end or be the last guy to die, is gone halfway through, and he's like, it's not like a heroic death where he dies a pure cool way. It's just out of nowhere, man. It just gets you. It's fantastic.
They eat the fuck out of Samuel Jackson.
This shark jumps up and grabs him, pulls him into the water, and then you just see the water turning red. That's enough for me. You don't need any more than that. Like,
My cut had them like thrown him up.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's all you need for me. But then it goes one bit further and it shows you an extra scene under the water where they're like passing them to each other. Like, this shark bites him in half, and another shark comes and like takes the other off of him, and they're like fighting over his body. It's like, fuck's sake.
Part of the pleasure of this movie as well. It's so silly. It's so silly. It's great. They watching horror. It's good, and this is amazing. It's so effective to see such a big star die. It's great.
Michael Rappaport. I'm him in this situation.
Scoggins freaks out.
He freaks out. He's just sitting going like, I'm just going to stay here. Let's just sit here and wait. Somebody will come and get us.
I'd throw him in.
I'd jump in. I'd be like, right, I'm going to... No, actually, there's sharks in there. I'd be looking for something to kill myself with. I'd be looking for like a big spike I could run into.
I would laugh, right? See how if you kept running towards the bit and I went, "No, Ryan!" And you're just freaking out, but you forget and you keep doing it 3 times, and the 4th time I go, "Fuck it, man." And you just go and you think that's a way out, and I'm like, he just forgot that there's sharks in that bit. That's the main bit.
He just lost his mind and forgot where he was.
It was that or the fire. They move forward into another room with all the water. I've avoided millions of them. So
have you added sound effects to all your notes? That's amazing.
A wee bit.
Pew, pew, pew.
They ascend this ladder whilst fireballs fall from a fiery sky.
This set is amazing. I love this. This is the coolest looking scene in the movie.
It looks great, man.
This elevator is an elevator above them, isn't it? That's on fire.
Yeah,
that's what's causing the fire.
I think it's a platform. Like
embers of the flames falling into the water below.
Big chunks of them,
and they're climbing this rickety ladder. It is an amazing set piece. I love this. This is the best part of the movie for me.
They just need to get to the first floor, is that right?
Yeah, all they need to do is climb a ladder and get to this platform. It seems really simple, but then this shark starts battering on this door. Like, they've sealed the door behind them, but then the shark starts...
open the door!
That's what it's like. Again,
you left me out.
We need an arc of this movie where you have the sharks talking to each other, they've got subtitles or something like that, and it's like fucking open door A or something, and you see it pure rattle on the door. It's like, let me in, boom, boom, boom.
Oh, you could voice one. Scoggins comments on Carter's big brass balls.
Carter's like, right, you just go ahead, I'll open this door to alleviate some of the pressure or something, I don't know, some science stuff. But he goes back the way because he's a big action hero, cool guy, and he goes back down to open a door, and because it's an action movie, he has to open this door with his bare horns.
Oh,
this
no.
titanium steel door.
He's the Punisher, man. The Punisher, pure nice, this thing, man.
He puts a knife in the door to try and pry it open. The knife snaps, it breaks immediately. And then he just gets his fingernails in there and he just opens this like 10-ton door.
Oh, it's
Made
what
of solid
squishies
steel.
out, man.
Skishies all over it, man. It's like a Riley Reid video.
I would buy that PS5 thing for that video.
A VR.
VR. Pure lap nail. A shark gets into this chaos and it's getting near them. This is amazing.
It's amazing. It's so tense. And I like stuff like this. It's just so simple. All they need to do is climb a ladder to get to a platform. But there's a threat. The shark is a threat. The water levels are rising. And there's a ticking timer. It's great. All this shit's great.
Janice falls in.
Man, it's funny. It shouldn't be funny. So the ladder breaks and falls backwards and they'll hold on to it. Apart from Janice, who clearly skipped Andy and Jim because she immediately falls into
As
it.
if you or I would have a chance.
Oh no, I'm dead well before this.
So am I.
I don't want to climb a ladder, man. I'm at the bottom.
I can't hear you.
I'm at the bottom of the ladder, complaining about my sore legs. I've got cramp, I've not even started climbing yet. Shots.
Janice falls in. They try to Dick Grayson save her, but the shark grabs her.
Thomas Jane's getting these big action sequences here, so he's already pulled a door open with his bare hands, and then he climbs over, and as you said, Dick Grayson's he puts his legs through the bars and like tries to do like a upside down monkey bar save here.
But this shark's already got her by the...
But he's got her by the legs and the entire lower half, and she rises up, which is such a cool visual, and he tries to grab her. He tries to hold on to her, but it's pulling her at the same time, and she just fucking breaks, man.
Yeah, man.
She snaps like a fucking twig. It's such a violent death. It's so cool looking.
It's horrifying,
Yeah.
man. I'd be on that ladder like, oh no.
I will say this about the entire movie, all the deaths are horrific. Like obviously Skarsgård gets he gets the worst one by far.
If this is a PG-13, it doesn't work.
No, they need to be over the top and bloody.
Yep.
And it's weird because it's not like a slasher movie, like a Friday the 13th type, where they're so detailed and showing you, but just because it works in the water, all the blood looks so much better because the water just turns red and you can do so much with it.
It takes up the screen as well. It adds so much. Carter looks gutted. She had his Skinner tapes.
Oh, you know he listens to Skinner, man.
But I think he's only got the greatest hits.
Oh, aye. He's like, oh, Freebird's the best song ever. He's like, name two more songs.
And the thing is, Freebird's on an album that Freebird's on its own tape, and you have to flip the tape because it's on for 49 minutes, man.
Oh, some guitar solo bit in it.
I'm free
As a bird. Now, here, that's a great song, in fairness.
LL Cool J shows up a floor above to save the day.
Yeah, so they're all reunited now, which is good. We're about halfway through the movie, probably more into the final act here. And I guess they're in the living quarters or the staff quarters or something like this scene. I'm not really sure what the plan is here. I know that Skoggs does mention it, but for whatever reason he has a plan and they need like flashlights or something. So he says some really weird line about needing batteries. And his first thing he says is like, right, where's all the women's vibrators? They'll have batteries in them. Why is that the first thing you go to? Do you think that's a pure weird at a place scene?
I think it's fitting for somebody called Scoggins to say that. They brief and map Tool up a little. It's pretty cool. Doc confronts him, says he's important to her. This is Thomas Jane. I don't know why. He's kind of like stripper, kind of hot, man.
Yeah, I get that.
He'd come in and you'd be like...
Matthew McConaughey and...
Oh, no,
Magic Mike.
McConaughey's a different kind of level. So.
No, not in just in Magic Mike, where he's like a sort of aging stripper.
I mean, I'd still say Thomas Jane's a Blackpool version of that.
He's the Phil Monty version.
Aye.
Aye. He is to Magic Mike, but Big Carlisle is to Phil Monty.
Aye.
Is that a good analogy?
Your science is sound.
By the way, what's with this weird romance sub-story here between Thomas Jane and the Doctor that goes absolutely nowhere? There's loads of sexual tension between them, and
They've had a history. They've
flirt
hooked
a
up.
lot. And I know, but what I mean is they flirt a lot, and they've been out at some point. It goes nowhere, and it's pointless though. Why do we care about these two?
I think I don't know, man.
Like, this movie works exactly the same if this isn't in it.
If I'm surrounded with sharks and these geeks, man, I'm pumping something, man.
Oh, she's quite clearly the hottest person there. But
She's alright, man.
There's only like 2 females. Also.
I'd be like, oh, she's a pure horrible person, but she's alright.
It's that or Tony Soprano's sister.
LL Cool J and Rappaport talk relativity. Sorry.
I can't go this scene.
This is
rough. This is the worst writing in the movie, and that's saying something.
Skoggs is really impressed that some pure pish preach says. He says how spending a moment with a hot woman can feel like an eternity, but
No, he says something about cooking. He's like, spending a second at a hot stove can feel like an hour, but spending an hour with a hot woman can feel like a second, and that's relativity. And I'm like, fuck off.
and Michael Rappaport
He's
says,
pure loving this. He's like, oh, bars, bro.
yo, I spent like 4 years at Caltech, and they whatever, and you explained it to me just like that, and you're like, that is awful.
So forced.
Oh,
Borderline offensive.
They suit up. 2 sharks left. Carter and Skoggs go through this water pipe. Looks like they might bump into Jack and Rose here. It's pure the same set.
This is the same set for Titanic, where it's only their heads above the water at this point, and Leo needs to go under a thing to get something, remember? And they come back.
Rennie saw it next door and he went, Moon! It's free!
It's funny, Thomas Jane goes under here and he finds a dead body. Is this Skarsgård's body? There's a dead body underwater. Or is it Tony Soprano's sister?
It looks like a random, just from, it looks like
Because
just
there's
an
other
extra.
people. You have to remember there's other people.
Other people, yeah.
Anyway, but when he goes under, he sees a dead body, and it is pretty funny. He freaks out. He swims to the surface and just starts going, ah! Ah!
Which is totally what I would do.
It is, but it goes against his character, which at this point in the movie has been a pure cool guy. It's not fazed by any of this. But even he's freaking out like a bitch. It would make more sense if Rappaport's doing this, the screaming, no, the nerd. Anyway, it's a funny scene.
LL Cool J does a Last Testament on tape, then gives an omelette recipe. See if he sent me that as his loved one, I would be in floods of tears, right? Hearing him rap a lot of pish about using. I would be so upset.
He says you need to use 2 eggs instead of 3.
I would think, where's the money?
Aye.
Where's the money for the wings?
Don't tell us how to make an omelette. I taught you how to make an omelette, you dick. You won a Michelin star chef.
We
You worked on a
can't
stupid
afford
boat.
eggs, never mind the milk,
The lawyers, like, as you can see here by the tape, he didn't give any instructions, therefore the money all goes to the C company.
Technically, we can't even afford to show you the end of this tape, so we need to stop it here.
Somehow the money goes to the family of the sharks.
Here's a dead bird. Throws the dead chewed bird.
It's just like a skeleton,
Aye.
like a cartoon.
You know, like Top Cat's fishes. Carter and Scoggins do some water work, and Scoggins gets eaten, and it's so good.
Man, it's a pretty brutal death. They rip him apart, and you just see his legs. His shoe comes off, and you see this mad minging foot. I was like, even the sharks don't want to eat his fucking gametos.
They pure eat the feet off him, man.
Pure paisley sharks, man. Use your shoes.
They took one look at his Skechers and went, no. They're fucking Channels, they New Balances.
Ooh, is that 2 stripes?
Mate, check the Diodoras. This death is amazing. He gets eaten and electrocuted at the same time because a shark wanted a toasty.
Oh, pure cheese toasty with this freak.
It purely had parasites and wanted to cook him first.
Just in case it gets an infection.
He's pure riddled. Doc goes in the water.
So this is I guess this is the whole reason she's got a key around her neck. Again, she doesn't need the key. She could just have went to her office. But anyway, she heads to her office. She says to LL Cool J before she leaves that she needs to go and get her research. He says something like, who cares about the research? Or something like that. She goes into her office. She locks the door behind her.
Mm-hmm.
She pulls out this key. She goes over to this filing cabinet. And conveniently, her research is in a wee Ziploc bag. It's just a couple of textbooks, man. Like,
that's all it is.
I thought this was going to be like some sort of hard drive or something. I guess 1999 hard drives on the hang. Maybe it would be a floppy disk, wouldn't it?
She had a floppy disk earlier.
Aye, she did. Anyway, all her research is in here. And you think, great, she's got it. And then fucking big shark shows up. She turns around. We get a jump scare. But what is it, Kieran? It's a fake shark.
It's a kid-owned shark.
It's the wee model that we've seen at the start of the movie, which is kind of like a good wee fake out.
Did you mention Carter and Preach team up?
Not yet.
It's pretty good. They bond over Skog's death, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
In a brief scene, it's kind of cool.
Can you take this? I've got a lot to say about this next scene, but I want you to describe what the Doctor does next.
She is above the water and Saffron burrows. The Doctor strips down.
So, I don't know science that well, right? But she takes off her suit, her wetsuit, because it's obviously made of rubber.
This is biology.
She stands on her wetsuit, grabs a energy wire, like a big metal wire that's live. You can see the sparks and electricity coming out the end of it, and she throws it into the water, or she throws it into the shark's mouth, should I say.
Pure Jaws 2's it, man.
And electrocutes a shark. But she's safe because she's standing on her wetsuit. That's not right, is
that old one would have been like...
Aye, I'm about to say, that's no... I don't know enough.
It's Jaws 2, I know.
Aye, but it's just pure garbage science, isn't it? I also want to say something about this scene because apart from Samuel Jackson's death scene, this is the scene that's burned into my head most. Remember, I was like, I don't know what age I was, maybe 9 or 10 years old when I seen this movie. Her in this underwear on top of this table has stuck to my brain.
Did we ride all like Saffron?
This was like an awakening for me. I didn't even fancy her throughout the full movie. It's just see because she's like basically wearing nothing but underwear at this scene and she's soaking wet and she's all shiny.
She's beautiful.
Oh, she's a beautiful woman. Oh, I don't mean that, but just something about this scene in particular. And I'm like 10 years old. I'm like, bing! My wee fucking chubber.
Jeez, man.
I tried to be as tactful as possible until I ruined it.
See, when you got a wee chubber, you know how like the Great Kazoo and Flintstones, that's what happened to you.
Ah, exactly.
You spoke to it.
Aye, I was like, oh, get down there, dum-dum. My dad's here. Get away.
We're watching Forrest Gump. Come back later.
I don't even know if I knew what it was when I was 9 years old. Do you know what I mean? But I knew something was happening. And she looked great, and she still does. I must say, watching this scene back last night, I was like, she looks beautiful, she looks amazing. But even as a Wayne, despite how beautiful she looked, I was just like, there's no way she would have survived that.
They need to equalise the pressure, let the room fill up with water.
There's only 3 of them left at this point. It's the Doctor, Preacher, LL Cool J, and Carter. And they need to get to the surface. And correct me if I'm wrong here, they need to swim by themselves because they can't take something like if they go too fast, their lungs will explode.
Yeah.
Is that the bends? Is that what they're talking about?
I think so, yeah.
It doesn't
just
really explain
it, baby.
It's one of those things where I'm just like, do you know what? I don't care. All they need is they need to get to the surface. But he does say something like, we can't do it this way. Well, we need to swim because if we take a shuttle or something, is that what I don't know what's the bends? It sounds horrific.
They do it really well in the movie 47 Metres Down where she experiences the bends. It is horrifying.
Is it possible this horrific death is possible because it's all your insides basically just explode or something?
Jesus.
It sounds hot. It happens to divers now. Again, another reason not to go in the water. We don't belong there. It's actively trying to keep us out.
They hold hands and I really like this scene because I like this cast together.
Yeah, the 3 of them are okay. Preacher starts praying.
Yeah.
Well, he starts praying at first, and then he starts freestyling a wee bit here.
LL's good, but the speech is a bit...
It's a bit, but it's total late 90s.
Yeah.
Like, for the time,
Yeah.
this would have been
Yeah,
cool.
absolutely.
Yeah.
He's good at saying it. It's totally fine. Open up the hatch. They've each got an extinguisher. They rip off Jaws' Ford here and squish themselves up.
Yeah, they send the extinguisher up first to distract the sharks. You see something like sharks are distracted by bubbling water or something, I don't know. Anyway, it works. The sharks go after this fire extinguisher. They use that as a distraction. They get to the surface, they finally make it in a pretty tense scene. And as soon as they get there, man, Preacher gets caught. LL gets caught, and we're like, oh no.
And I was like, oh no, LL Cool J's gonna go, they're gonna eat the chef, it's so ironic. Reach the surface, a shark gets LL, he stabs it with his cross right in the eyes.
It's so cool,
you
man.
bastard.
He grabs this crucifix, he's going to town trying to stab it, and they can't get it, and then he just goes right for the eyeball. And it's pure grouse, man. It shows you the eyeball getting stabbed. And the shark's like, my eye. That was there.
Please, I can't see through that one now. I'm going to the shark opera tonight.
No, I need to go with an eye patch.
He stabs it with his cross right in the eye. Yes. They get to safety. She patches LL Cool J up. This Aquatica is hammered, man.
Place is totally fucked.
Samuel Jackson's happy. Samuel Jackson's lucky he got killed like that because he would have jumped out Wall Street one day.
Oh man, you'd have took one look at this thing and been like, fuck.
Man, imagine trying to explain that thing and putting that together on a PowerPoint.
The insurance claim for me has to fill it.
Oh. Yeah.
By the way, right, okay, so we have this scene where Thomas Jane and the doctor are standing. They look at the fence, and Thomas Jane's like, oh my god, what's that fence made out of or something? And she's like, I don't know, titanium or whatever. And he's just like, does he form in his head that this was the shark's plan all along to build a fence?
Yeah.
And blow the place up on purpose?
I believe so.
So the shark orchestrated this entire thing, including the helicopter that they need.
I think so.
In order to take this place out, to blow the place up, so that when it falls apart, they can escape into the open water.
You went a bit further than I did, I think, but I think so. Aye.
The whole point I'm trying to make is this: the sharks wanted all this to happen to get out. This was all a big elaborate escape plan. And here's my thing: she turns to him. The doctor turns to Carter and's like, "We need to kill these sharks. We can't let them escape." And I'm like, "How?
They agree
Let them go."
They agree to smoke this fish.
They're like, "We need to kill the shark," and then he comes up with some plan where he's got a harpoon and he takes a flare for the flare guns. It takes the flare ammo, uses the gunpowder to make some sort of homemade bomb contraption with a car battery. What the fuck is this 18 bullshit they're doing? Also, just let the shark go. You're safe now. You're at dry land. The shark wants to get away, which means it's getting away for you. That's all you care about.
They can't let these get out into the world and breed potentially, and the world would end. Look at these things.
No, maybe it would actually deter people from actually going in the water, and people can learn their lesson and stay away from the water. These smart sharks can take over, form their own water government, whatever, and we're totally separate from the water like we should be. This shark's trying to break out. Again, for whatever reason, they're not just letting it escape. The doctor's like, oh no, it's going to escape.
Oh no!
And she's like, it needs some bait. So she gets this big, rusty, looking, horrible pipe and cuts her horn with it. So she's now all bleeding. Then she jumps into the water to make herself bait. And it works. The shark's like, oh, that smells good. I can smell some English doctor. So he starts swimming at her. And then she tries to swim away and the fucking ladder falls on her. Oh. And she's fucked, man. And like pure unceremoniously, she just gets killed.
It just eats her good.
It just eats her. Just like you think this is the big finale of the movie. It's going to be a lot better 10 snap. The shark just goes, thank you, snap, and just kills her in the water.
The shark does not care about their blossoming on and off romance, man.
No, he doesn't, and it's definitely off now. But for some reason, Thomas Jane jumps in after her. It's like she's gone, mate. Just forget it.
It wasn't worth that.
Cut your losses,
man. It wasn't worth that.
Thomas Jane jumps in. This shark swims at him, but of course, as we know earlier, he's a shark rider or whatever his job is. So he jumps out of this shark and grabs it with a fin. He's riding on the back of the shark.
Pure Marty McFly's it.
Aye, he does, man. He's riding it like he's riding a fucking car to school.
He sketches.
And then we see Big LL, man. He's fucked, but he gets up. He crawls up all heroically. He grabs a harpoon. He praises God or whatever. He makes a wee prayer. He points a harpoon. He shoots this shark, man. And it goes right through the fin and through Thomas's leg.
Oh, double done.
That's a good shot, man.
It was, but it's on a shame about the leg. The fin's cool though.
Thomas Jane's like just blow it up. Basically going to sacrifice himself. It's a tense scene. Like, he's obviously now stuck to this shark via a harpoon gun. He can't get out.
It's not the best situation.
It's not. He's in a pretty terrible situation. But the shark then heads for the hole in the fence, and as it does, I guess he grabs onto the fence. The shark gets through, but then LL puts the car battery on it, and it fucking blows up. And this explosion's pretty nice.
I like that he delays it as long as possible because he doesn't want to kill Carter.
Aye, but it waits for the last possible moment, and then boom.
I really love it. It's really tense. It's a cool death for the shark. It gets, the way it's framed is amazing. It's just through the break in the fence.
Yeah.
It's just about to get out into the world, and it explodes just as it gets out.
The way it keeps on showing you the spool of wire getting shorter and shorter and shorter as it gets further. It's tense. The music's good. This is a good action sequence again. This is pretty good.
It's great.
And then we think Thomas Jane gets blown up as well, but then the camera pans back and he's grabbing onto the fence. He made it out, Kieran. He survived.
I would watch a cop show with these two, man.
Man, they still are pretty good together. They don't get a lot of one-on-one time, but when they do, they've clearly got good chemistry. However, this last scene's a bit ropey here.
Yeah.
Thomas Jane swims over to him. They're basically happy that they're both alive. Blah, blah, blah. They then look over and they see a rescue boat coming. Or I don't know if that was the shift that left earlier coming back. Either way, they see a boat coming to save them. And LL lies back and goes, "Man, take me back to the ghetto." Oh, and you're like, "Oh man, that's awful." But then Thomas Jane goes, "Yeah, me too." It's like, hold on, where are you, Faye? Are we under the impression that he's also for the ghetto?
There's better ways.
Just because he's a criminal? Is that what they're implying?
There's better ways to end a half decent short film, man. Like, what is that?
See, even if he just goes, "Man, I need a vacation," or something like that, that's fine.
See, if he wants to end with a cooking pun, I don't care. Like,
yeah, because when the shark blows up, he says something like, "Anybody for some sushi?" or something. They should have saved that line until the end.
It relatively... No, there was racial stuff through it. He was a good character. It's a real shame it ends with that. It's a shame.
Take me back to the ghetto. It just feels like they had to get one wee dig in there. It's unnecessary, man. As you said, it's a shame because it's a good film and he's a good character right up until that point. That's the end of the movie. It ends in a pure weird sour note.
Deepest, bluest, my heart is like a shark's fin. Deep Blue Sea, 1999, man. What do you think? Rate this thing?
Oh, okay. So let's go. Let's get into it. I loved this movie when I was a kid. Watching it back, it's got a lot of problems, a lot of stuff I'd forgot about or hadn't noticed first time round. But it's fun. It's a stupid popcorn film, man. It's not supposed to be smart. See, if you just ignore all the science and just try and turn your brain off, man, this movie's totally fine. It's short, I think. At least it felt short. It's got cool, violent deaths. Okay, the animation or the CGI isn't great for the time period, but who cares? This movie's alright. It's a pure Eedjit feature. We described it when we were deciding to watch it. It's an Eedjit feature. It's not going to win any awards, but it's fun, man. If you want to just watch something that's fun, nothing has to make you think anymore. There's some iconic moments in it, and I think it's definitely worth a watch. 10-year-old me loved the movie, and 31-year-old me, I forgot what age I was there, liked it less, but I would still watch this again. I would recommend this to somebody. All that being said, I think this is I'm going to go a 3 out of 5 coconuts.
Okay. Deep Blue Sea, 1999. I really like this soaking wet, wild and crazy Muncher fawn. Deepest, bluest. It's so much fun. This cast are pretty into it, and this location is dynamite. I like that there's surprises and it's gory. There's CGI, but they kinda know how to shoot around it. LL Cool J is great in this. I really like that oven sequence. Thomas Jane is an okay lead. I've always thought he was a pretty interesting performer. The science behind it is hilarious, and that just makes it so much better. It's Poseidon with sharks, and I'm really into that. 3 out of 5 coconuts. It's pure sugar, it's pure excitement, total entertainment, great runtime, good kills. Deep Blue Sea is a total Eedjit feature. Next week, man, it's gonna get kinda romantic in here, isn't it?
Well, I mean...
Did you give me flowers?
Oh, I knew I forgot something. Fuck. You did some last minute shopping. Because it is the season.
Yeah, it's gonna get pretty romantic in here and kinda creepy.
Oh, let's roll that trailer then, bad boy.
He loves me.
Spend this Valentine's Day
He loves me not.
with someone you love,
He loves me.
someone you trust,
He loves me not.
and someone you know
He loves me.
won't try to kill you.
Will you dance with me? Dance with me? Dance with me? Dance with me?
Remember the kid everybody ignored on Valentine's Day?
Loser.
Well, he remembers you.
God, we were so horrible to that kid.
What do you think happened to him?